Hey there, friends. Ryan from Mana Bluff here with my very first journey into Nyx, the full Theros block draft. This is a minute or two before the beta spotlight early pre-release queues are about to go up. I think I'm in the right queue and release queues. A couple disclaimers for this draft before we get started. Number one, I've never played. Well, no, that's kind of a lie. I'm not familiar with the beta client. I did one draft last night when I downloaded it. Specifically just for this spotlight, and just kind of got my bearings a little bit. But I'm really, really funky on this beta client, so that's going to be interesting. Like, I don't even know how to have the chat open, like, keep it open without it getting in the way, so I'll figure that out, hopefully, as we go. Please bear with me. Also, I've done nothing with Journey into Nyx. Wasn't able to hit a pre-release, sad day for me, and I've not been able to draft it at an FNM or anything. So this will definitely be my very first interaction with the new cards, so I'm really excited. But that does mean my level of gameplay and thought might be a little slow. But I still thought it'd be super cool to record my first interaction, have a little fun, have everyone get to check out the cards with me as early as possible. But just know this is not going to be a ridiculously awesome strategy video. I will be doing a Swiss draft as well instead of the usual 8-4s, or the 9-4s for the pre-releases. They're doing that extra pack in the winners, which is cool. But I'm doing a Swiss because I don't anticipate playing very well, and on top of that, my goal for today is to have some fun, just as if it was like my pre-release, and also to have as much interaction with the new cards as possible. So that should be starting in a minute or so, and I'll get you back here in just a second once the draft begins. Okay, cool. So we're in a draft. Let's see. I'm not too sure. Definitely want this open for everybody. I'll have to fumble around a little bit and see how everything works. Sorry guys, again, this is me kind of learning. So Island of Blossoms will be open, which is supposed to be quite nice. I'm not going to go over every card. I'm just going to kind of pay attention for myself for a moment since I only have 40 seconds on this new pack. Storm of Giant, deal damage sacrifice. Yeah. Flurry of Horns. Don't care about. What's this one? Not that big of a deal. That one seems good. It's just a general 6-drop. Don't care about that. Or a mountain. That seems kind of underwhelming. That seems okay, but underwhelming compared to the Eidolon. Returned Reveler. Don't care as much. Starfish I want to play with. Yeah, I think it's a pretty clear Eidolon of Blossoms. I want to be green. It seems some nice card advantage. And I don't see anything particularly strong in the other colors, so we'll grab the Eidolon, start going green, which I'm happy to do. How do we get these cards bigger? I think this is it, right? Yeah. Awesome. That's what we're looking for. Love it. That means I don't really need a preview right now. We'll get rid of that. And just pop this guy. Agent of Erebos. Whenever don't care about you. Dacra Mystic. I think can be good, the kind of weird looter. I think Quarry Colossus is a fine 7-drop. What's in green? Okay, that's going to be in the heroic build. I don't know if I'm really doing that. And there's the heroic guy. So green I'm not overwhelmed with. This is a fine combat trick. This is fine. This is fine. I'm really not stoked on any of these. What else do we have here? Grim Guardian. I guess this can go if I want to go black-green with some base enchantment stuff, which I kind of like. I want to be black if I can. I think the white cards are a little bit more powerful, though. 5-drop. That seems pretty okay. It's a 4/5 for 5 is good enough, and this is pretty much going to give me a creature card each turn. That seems pretty nice. Sector Grove Dancer is okay too. Fine 2-drop, don't really need it. Rise of the Eagles I think is a little expensive for 6, though it does combo with the Eidolon pretty nicely. I saw that last turn. The Crone Mastiff, though, that seems insane. Prophecy we saw before. Octopus, blah blah blah. Hate that card. Return target creature from graveyard. This is fine, but it takes a little bit of a setup. Infusion is kind of boring. Sigil Link is fine. I think the Crone Mastiff is the best card here. I don't care about the black cards. And this is really nice in green, but I think I'm going to have enough 5-drops, so I think I'm just going to go with a really powerful Mastiff. Though I think everyone's going to do that, so I'm kind of going against what I was pre-thinking about for my, for my strategy. I was going to try to avoid white, because I think so many people are going to do white, but if I'm getting a Crow and Mastiffs this late, that seems kind of nice, right? Just take a second one. Do I really want 2 4-drops that do that? Or do I want a really nice hexproof reach dude, which is a pretty good 2-drop, I would imagine. I think I'm going to prioritize green. I like green. We're going to go this route. I already have 1 Mastiff. I don't know if I want a whole bunch of 4-drops at 2/2s, even though they are the tappers and they're pretty nice. But I'd be happy sticking this Eidolon of Blossoms and trying to build around that as well. It's a little slow, especially compared to the Mastiff I already have. Nature's Penalty. Oh, this is just another one of the Strive +1/+1 counters on them, which is nice. It is a good combat trick, but I don't think you need to pick that kind of a combat trick up super early right now. I would maybe even pick the Grove Dancer over the Nature's Penelope, even though I don't think technically that 2-drop is more powerful. It's just, ooh, Freak is Chosen. I love that card. Really fits nicely into a green-black build. The only issue is I already have 2 double green cards, so I really want Farika's Chosen in there. Kind of a late Magma Spray, though I don't really want to be red. I don't think it entirely matters. This is kind of nice. Like the ramp. I could take the 2-drop just to stay on green and just kind of be forcing one color in this early draft. I think the Chosen is my favorite pet card in an archetype that I already know I like and enjoy. Magma Spray, probably the most powerful card. But since I am... Ooh, I forgot the Eagle of the Watch. That's a pretty decent card, too. I'm going to take the Eagle of the Watch, and maybe we're going to go into this this green-white build now. This is a fine 6-drop. I don't think I'm going to need 6 drops if I'm in green. It's not going to be hard to grab, but 5/5 at 6 plus with the trample is not irrelevant. I think I already mentioned that. This seems horrible. Yeah, I don't think I ever want to do that. Crow and Linebacker Breaker seems pretty decent. I'm not really looking to move into red, though, with that card, or Flurry of Horns, or this big ol' Cyclops. I think I am fine just grabbing the Humbler of Mortals. The black card doesn't really make me want to go into black that much more. This is a fine green card. Yeah, we'll grab it. Another Humbler. Pinned to Earth is really nice. I like Aspect of Gorgon. It's a little tricky because it's an easy 2-for-1 at times. I'm not going to take another Humbler. I might take this 5-drop in the Fairies Band Thunderhoof. We're going to be in the colors that technically should be able to do good things with Heroic. The question is, what does this Mortal Obstinacy do? Chain creature control gets +1/+1. Whenever chain creature deals combat to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, destroy target channel. That seems okay, but not necessarily amazing. Maybe I just flush out my creatures, kind of see how this card plays. Again, this is a little easy to get 2-for-1 with. I'm not really killing this draft, am I? I think now we'll take Nature's Penelope. Green's the only card that I'm really committed to. Right now this Eidolon's doing very close to nothing. I only have 1 other enchantment, but I'm fine with that. What's the Skybind do? Whenever Skybind or another enchantment enters the battlefield under control, exile target non-enchantment permanent. Return that card to the battlefield. Oh. It just blinks at 5, do nothing? No thank you. Not a fan. We're not doing Desperate Stand. Cruel Feeding. Yeah, we're just taking this guy. Calling it a day. Ooh, this is actually pretty decent. This late, I should say. So we have a nice curve starting. Again, I don't need another Humbler of Mortals. I have a 6-drop. Is there a way to make... Yeah, there we go. How come this isn't... How this sort by convert mana cost? Huh. It's annoying that it doesn't really maintain it for you, but whatever. Another Fairies dude, another Penelope. I think we're going to have plenty of combos. This might be good because it has multiple heroic guys. I don't think I need really any of these cards. Am I more in need of 5 drops or an extra instant? I do like the 1 mana instant. with Strive. I think that's going to be better than a bunch of 5. I'm not really doing Heroic right now, but in being in these colors means I'm anticipating doing Heroic, so I'm going to go that route. Ah, bummer, cut another 5 drop. Don't care about the font for 7. What's this guy do? Choose one or both return creature from your graveyard to your hand. I'll take it in case I want it, because I just don't need another Nature's Penelope. Let's go in straight to the sideboard. This is actually a decent card. But I'm just going to keep cutting green. Font of Fertility is actually pretty good as well. I might even play it if we end up doing super duper ramp. I think. It's just good on curve. Play it 1, sacrifice it in 2, something like that. What's happening? Hey, look, there's me. Gluttonous Cyclops. Alright, we'll take you. What I was saying is, I mean, you can play this, right away, turn 1 with no other 1-drop, or just playing it, at 3 and ramping is not exactly a bad situation, so. Having 2 combat tricks that aren't exactly insane, but are super fine, does mean that we're kind of looking to go onto the, hold on, how do I get to more of this? I want to remember what I have. Reviving Melody. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So, stuck to green. I don't think it was necessarily open. I just don't know the cards very well. So I don't know if this is what green has to offer in Journey. It seems not very powerful. Eidolon could be good, but I don't have a deck to really support it. Let's see. Swordwise Centaur is awesome, but I did get a Xenagos, God of the Revels. So, I think we're going to have to grab that guy just for value's sake. Oh, actually, he's not really worth that much. He's worth like 2 tickets or something. I think I'm going to take the Swordwise Centaur. Go deep. Someone's going to be like, what? Someone passed Xenagos? Let's see. Anything really decent in white? Not really. The Nyxborn Wolf was quite good. The Aspect Hydra I'm going to want in this deck, being so heavy green. Nyxborn Wolf, though, goes great with the Eidolon. Aspect I can probably get late. There's nothing that makes me want to force white. I do like my Eagle and my Crow and Mastiff. I mean, I wouldn't mind having this be a green-white deck based on those 2 cards, but these are not the kind of white cards that are insane. Culture Reward's quite nice, but I'm not heavy white, so that don't matter. And Shieldmate is a playable, but nothing crazy. I'm much more confident in what these cards are now that we're into the Born of the Gods mix. This is a bit of a bummer. We can start going into blue, even though I passed that Kior's Follower, which is so good from the first pack. But that actually works really well with green-blue. I love that color combination. The red ship sailed, in my opinion. I don't think red's good enough, and I haven't seen anything insane. The archetype is fine. I don't want to go double red right now. Enlightenment's too far away. Mischief and Mayhem isn't really that grand. Satyr Wayfinder actually might be okay if I wanted to try to continue to ramp or, splash something. But I think I'm just going to take the Chorus of Tides. Mortal's Ardor I don't care about, by the way, because I have those Penelopes. Those are all very A-okay. Could take like a Servant or something, but I think Chorus is just that much better. I don't mind audibling into blue right now. Archetype of Endurance, normally not playable, but maybe more so in this format. I'm not going to pick it here, but it's certainly an option considering with Font of Fertility and wanting to have more enchantment things. But I think now, here's a bolt, wow. I think we take the Nyxborn Eidolon. We're starting to spread, or I'm starting to spread myself a little bit thin into different colors, having taken a blue, now taking a black. I'm surprised there's not more green. Here's some more green. Okay, so this is nice. White is just completely gone, by the way, so we might be officially abandoning white. Do I want to take another Nyxborn Wolf or a Fairy Span Trumper? I think the Wolf. It really is just that versatile. Yeah, a Vortex Elemental is pretty much one of the best cards in this pack. But since I'm not committed to blue right now, I'm just going to take a nice solid green card and try to go solid green. Reap What Is Sown, though, is really powerful, and I wouldn't mind being base green with a Reap and these 2 other nice white cards, so I think I will take it, especially since there's nothing really strong otherwise. Certainly playables with the Snake is a playable, the Disciple or Nullify is playable, though a little bit hard if I'm going to go heavy green. But I'm happy to have that Reap and now start really kind of forcing a deck here. Asphyxiate should not be in the pack right now. I don't know why it is. Blue is definitely out. Alright. Though Asphyxiate is grand, I still think my white is better with the green. I don't really want Immortal's Resolve. Again, I have plenty of combat tricks. Don't want to double... Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to take this Asphyxiate. I think it could be a wasted pick, and if I'm getting a little bit low on playables, I might have wanted one of these combat tricks, but I have even a backup Penelope if I'm really just that hurt for these kind of cards. And this is me kind of hedging on not knowing if I'm going white or black right now. I guess none of these really matter. Peregrination can go deep if I had a Chromantic Orb, but I don't. I'll just take the Wayfinder, which is technically playable. Though I don't want to play it. And in fact, I am going to move it over. Though these are two pretty honorary, a third Penelope and Wayfinders are definitely going to be honorable inclusions if I end up needing more playables based on my spread over 3 colors at the moment. And I guess Necrobite is the best card in the 3 colors that I'm deciding between. See, the Aspect did table, so I'm super happy to have it, and I'm super slamming it. I don't really want another Wayfinder, though. Do I want a Mischief and Mayhem? Maybe people won't see it. Just for versatility, I'll grab it. We'll grab the Greatheart now versus a Gorgon's Head in case we go white and we need more playables. I don't think I've ever actually run a Greatheart, though. It'd be kind of sad, but also very justified if I end up playing it in this deck. This monstrosity of a deck. Okay, I really need to commit now to my colors, so I'm gonna hide the black. I think what I want to be doing is this. Pretty weak deck. We have 11 creatures, so we'll get the creatures we want in these colors. Aspect, font. Yeah, like what we need are like the really strong bestow dudes and something like an heroic whatever to start getting a big old monster of some kind on the table. Right now I just have a very mediocre do-nothing deck. But I'm sticking to some fundamentals, building a curve, playing, you know, somewhat efficient creatures. And I guess that's the whole game plan. What new cards am I excited to play? Is Archer. Could be cool. Eagle. Could be cool. Mastiff. Probably very cool. I only have... How many enchantments do I have? And they're all enchantment creatures, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 ways to trigger the Blossom. The Eidolon of Blossoms. Not exactly a deck majorly built around it. It's kind of fun that I opened this up in my draft, because I think that's the promo card we get for doing this spotlight. So it just does a nice little way to connect with the draft. Always fun. This is a pretty weak pack for me. Does Farika's Mender make me want to again switch? I do have this black. I don't want Nykthos. How much is that worth even? So I don't really know what I want here. A random combat trick. I guess a 2-drop is the best way to go, unless I really want to switch into black, but I think I have to really commit at this point to some kind of... Oh, wow. This actually might be better now, to ditch my Reap, Eagle, Mastiff, and start going into black. I need some of that power level, and I'm not seeing it in my other colors. I don't really care about this, yeah. Means I wish I had that Mender. Late game audible in a draft. Wah 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 wah. Leaf Crown Dryad for sure is the pick. Voyage's End is nice. Would have God's Willing, but I think we're ditching that white. What's Grim Guardian do? Not much. Helps me stay alive. We are desperately low on, whatchamacallits, 4-drops, which is weird in green. Normally you have plenty of 4-drops. Aspect should still be good. We're still going to be pretty heavy green. I want to fill up these 4s, though. Here's a Mender, which is nice, but I'm going to take the Leaf Crown Dryad over it. Works better with the Blossom. I want to fill up my 4 slots, which is this does, and I do technically have things to do at 5. Just more versatile. Could take the Crow and Horse, but I don't really have any evasion. I do kind of want this game to go late, but I don't have any flyers or evasive, like I said, evasion dudes, so I don't know if I really have a great way to play this and then be able to pound through it. Let's take the versatile Dryad. Yeah, that guy will do too. I love me a Baleful Eidolon. You really just want to flesh out a 4-drop here or there with exactly. Now, I wonder what this is. All this little background stuff. Disciple's exactly what I want. I'm very happy to have it. And now we can start thinking what would be my ideal thing to clean up. I don't know if the Font of Fertility really matters in this deck. I mean, it gets the Eidolon Blossom, but I'm not really ramping anything super high. My curve tops out at this Humbler of Mortals at 6. I wouldn't mind more powerful 5 and 6 drops, but I'm pretty sure in these packs we've seen the real power plays go down. I may not need the Necrobite aspect and both natures, whatever. That's a little bit of combat tricks for a not heroic deck, so those can be kind of cleaned up by better spells. I think in general, though, with this Disciple, the creatures get pretty okay. Definitely want the Courser here. Could take the Lash because I'm pretty low on removal. All I have is the Asphyxiate and the Keepsake Gorgon, plus you can argue Necrobite and the combat tricks. But having such a strong 3-drop versus such a lame Lash the Whips is just not really something I want. I might even still get a Lash. Ooh, Reverend Hunter is going to be really good in the deck. Now I'm a little bit heavy on the creature side, but we can kind of go green aggro, I guess. Probably... I mean, the Grim Guardian kind of is cool, the Blossoms, but I don't think I want to keep in a weaker 3-drop for no real reason. Might even pull out the Nyxborn Eidolon, though that is really a nice versatile card. Alright, wow. A Mender does make it, so that's good. This is kind of what I wanted to, somewhat flesh up some better cards here. If I were magically to get a late sip of Hemlock, I'd be stoked. It's not happening at this point, but that would be cool. We have the makings of a pretty decent deck. I think Mischief and Mayhem's going to go away. That just seems like a waste of time because I have, maybe some Trample? Probably not. Do I want a Fairy's Band Centaurs or a Torment? Definitely not a Tormented Hero. I don't really think I need another 5-drop. I think this guy's going to be good enough as a 3-4, doing what this guy's doing. Maybe I just want the Viper's Kiss for the sideboard. Yeah, I just don't need another 5. Not really doing the Warriors Lessons thing, but again, just sideboard options. Another Farika's Mender, though, I will definitely take. Maybe replace the Fairy's Band Thunderfoot. No one cares about any... Oh, there's a 2-drop. Don't think I need it. I got plenty of 2s. But I like playables. Alright, so despite some of the wishy-washiness with this white action early on, I still think we have a pretty respectable deck here. And I'm just going to clean this up for a moment and then bring it back. Okay, so here is the initial breakdown. We have 18 creatures and a pretty decent curve, and then some spells, most of which are dorky. Our main strength right now lies in our heavy devotion to green and our enchantments. This Eidolon of Blast actually be pretty good. We got tons of Bestow dudes, which makes the curve super versatile. This aspect of Hydra is going to be really nice as a really good combat trick. We don't need this 2-drop in the Satyr Heatonist. This Grim Guardian, we also don't really want. We have way more efficient and more powerhouse 3-drops. Also, it's black. Only upside is that it is an enchantment creature to go with the Blossoms, and its own Constellation might actually do something, but it's more kind of incidental than worth dealing with, so I don't really care about Grim Guardian right now. If I was in a more Black Devotion control deck where I just want to slow down the board, but we're actually in a pretty decent beatdown game plan. Mischief and Mayhem, I think, is just too easy to do nothing and hard to set up at 5. I don't care about it. I don't think that's really changed in the new format. This card's still kind of lame. I don't need a third Panoply? Nature. I don't need a third this guy. Reviving Melody. We have the Menders, which are way better than this. And then the Lessons in Wayfinder, again, not really a big deal. We have plenty of 2-drops, and we're not in need of lands. So that comes down to, generally what my deck doesn't need is its 18th creature. And I really like the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s. Our weakest 2 is this Eidolon, but it's still nice and versatile, so I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The Renowned Weaver is probably a little weak in the deck. Getting the 1/3 and starting to bestow on it later is fine. I think having something early and something that can chump and then deal with flyers is nice. So there's really no need to pull it out necessarily, but it is one of the options to cut. Same with the Fairies Band Thunderhoof. Mainly because we have enough late game things to do with these 5-drops, our bestow creatures, the Humbler of Mortals. But the Fairies Band Thunderproof actually can get pretty big pretty quickly. We're going to be playing 4 combat tricks. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bestow creatures, a number of which could easily target this guy. And we're going to be happy to kind of trade some of these guys off with our 2 Menders. So right now I'm looking at getting a Renowned Weaver or Fairies Band Thunderfoot because I just don't need that many creatures. I'm already at 18. However, another consideration is this Font of Fertility. Because I don't know if I really care about ramping too much. Little incidental bonus if it comes out late with an Eidolon of Blossoms up is nice, but not a big deal. Ramping is okay in this deck, but I'm not going really ever above 6, so that's not a huge deal either. Our biggest bestow cost is 5. So I kind of feel like this is kind of not doing a whole lot. And since it's not really interactive on the cards either, we just don't really need it. So I think this is the card to pull. If I had a better combat tricks or something else to bring in, like I could even argue bringing Warrior's Lesson over one of my many creatures. I just don't think it's going to do a whole lot. We only have 1 heroic dude to make that matter. So instead we're just going to go on this whole big beatdown creature game plan and try to get there with a whole lot of big efficient dudes, which I think could work out. The combat tricks are going to have to play as our removal suite. Good news is, against evasion, we do have this 1/3 Spider, 2 Leaf Crown Dryads, an Archer. What else is there with Reach? Yeah, that's about it. But those are like nice early guys, and they're pretty, with the Leaf Crown Dryads, they're pretty versatile to put them on different pieces of other creatures to get them big as well. And then we do have, a couple of pieces of removal for anything super big. Sweet. How do I add land? Add basic land. There it is. I'm super not stoked for this deck, but I'm also not incredibly embarrassed. I just go to a standard 10-7 split here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mainly because I have these double black guys. You know what? Gosh, maybe I do want that font. Now that I'm thinking about it, since I didn't realize about these 2 double blacks, which are kind of key. I don't have a lot of blacks. I was thinking super heavy forests, but maybe having the font would smooth it out. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. We're going to do 10-7, but then I'm going to bring in the font and pull out the Fairies Band Thunderhooves. I definitely don't want less than 10 in this deck. So let's bring the font in and take out the Thunderhooves. Just because I don't need them. They're nice, they're big creatures, but I got big creatures. Everything else should be cool. And the font just helps me smooth out like a mana draw where I have can't quite cast my double black spells. And both my double black spells are really kind of key right here. So I think I prefer that. I know we're going to maximum time. Thanks for sitting through and bearing with me in the very first journey into Nick's draft I'm doing as I sort through everything. Yeah, I think that's the right call. I don't like getting rid of a card that's actually going to be pretty good in the deck, but all my other creatures are really that much better. Again, the Renowned Weaver I could pull out, but because of the way the curve is, I just don't need another 5-drop, and the other 5s are just infinitely awesome. More awesome. How do I submit? There we go. Submitting. Alright, see you in round 1.